All
You're recording.
right. So it is Thursday, February 28th, the last day of the month. Super excited for this call. I just really wanted Christa to kind of share what's been working for her. And as you probably have seen, she's tried the coaching thing out before and is kind of an impatient person. Um, and
I have that in my story.
I can talk to her like this. We know each other. And so anyways, she's really just blossomed in the last 2 months since actually, taking this by the horns and really just focusing on coaching and, giving it a try this time around. So I really wanted her to kind of speak and just share what's been working for her. But I wanted to talk to you girls real quick. So Brittany and I will be posting a calendar since I've got all of you on here. Yay. We'll be posting a calendar for March about any team trainings that are coming up, opportunities for trainings amongst like other teams and just different things like that, when the national wake up calls are and all of that jazz. So we really want to try to make sure you guys are aware of when these things take place. So stay tuned for that. We'll be posting that. And then I think Brittany will be posting the team leaderboard. Yeah, she said she's posting tonight. The team leaderboard either tonight or tomorrow for February. And yeah, we're just working on some things for you guys. Every team training in March will be definitely business focused as far as like accountability groups, like running them, successes, struggles that we've had and we've overcome. We'll also talk about like sneak peeks, how to run sneak peeks, because it took me forever to actually run a sneak peek and I'm really wishing I would have started sooner. So we want to just share all the knowledge that we can for every single one of you and give you an opportunity to learn and grow, and just an opportunity to try some things of these out yourself with mine and Brittany's help. And I see some chats coming up. Okay, she'll be posting all that in a few minutes. And then, Brittany, was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we start with Christa?
No, yeah, I'll post that stuff here in a minute. Let us know if you have any questions. There is one thing that's on there that I wanted you guys to note. The week of March 18th, instead of our call being on Thursday that week, it's going to be on Monday because Kayla and I need to get ready for the cruise. And then, yeah, we've got, Kayla, did you want to talk about our Success Club prizes that we chose for March?
Yes. So Success Club prizes, you guys knew if you hit Success Club 5, you got a fun blender bottle. If you hit Success Club 10, you'll also get a Amazon or $10 Amazon gift card. And then you also get the prize with Beachbody. So Beachbody does its own Success Club prize as well. And so you're going to get all of those. So for March, what we're going to do is for Success Club 5 earners, you will actually earn what we said, the B brand headband, that just a fun little fitness workout headband, because I feel like a lot of us like those. And so you're going to win one of those, great quality stuff. And it's actually one of the coaches in our network that owns that company as well. And then for Success Club 10, oh crap, what did we say for Success Club 10?
Success Club 10 is a coach surprise. So we'll find something for you guys that we think is very fitting for whoever you may be.
Yes, totally. And then of course, you guys know if we've got our rank advancement stuff up. So when you hit, emerald, diamond, and so on, there are certain prizes you guys can earn with that too. Because we really just want to treat you guys. And I was telling Brittany yesterday, I was like, I just really want to like do a retreat, treat them. So we really want, to give you guys all the tools you need to succeed in this business. And so that way we can eventually all get together and rally up and just kind of celebrate success for the year. So anyways, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Christa. Christa Collins is one of my coaches. And like I said earlier, she started out a while back, over like a year or so ago, and tried it.
It was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yes. Yeah. She and I worked together, and in the training class, I was her trainer. And I just saw a lot of potential in her, but I didn't like say a word about like the business or anything for the longest time. And she's very much a go-getter, and she gave me a run for my money this month with Success Club. So go ahead, Christa, if you'd like to speak. I'm going to mute myself for the time being.
Do you want me to say anything more like about my story? Okay. So yeah, like Kayla said, I met her when I got hired on at the credit union. I had just moved from California to Tennessee, and we were getting out of the military. So I had no money at the time. We were living in a studio apartment and lived 45 minutes from the closest gym. So when I met Kayla, she was doing the Whole30, I think, with her Beachbody. Yeah, she was doing that. And I noticed that she was doing something because I've always been into fitness and nutrition since like third grade, actually. And so I had asked her what she was doing. She was kind of just a little bit vague about it. She didn't really give me the whole spiel. But a little ways after knowing her for a little bit, we talked about it. And I decided to go all in right off the bat with it just because it seemed like the better deal. And I thought that I could do it even though I had been a stay-at-home mom for like a year and a half and was just going back to full-time working. So I decided to go for it. And I couldn't do all of it together. So I ended up quitting. And then maybe, I don't know how long the gap was, but I decided to try it again. Oh, no. Okay. So the first time I had gotten pregnant and I told Kayla about it and ended up losing the baby. So then I stopped working out completely because I was afraid that if I was going to work out that it was going to happen again. So I completely stopped. And because of that, I had stopped posting. So I just didn't have a method of getting anybody at that point. So I ended up quitting. Then I came back after having my second son and was going to try it again. And for some reason, I just couldn't get anybody to say yes at that point. I was doing the posts, but I wasn't reaching out to anybody. I wasn't actually going out and messaging people behind the scenes. I was just doing posts. And it wasn't anything that was really attention grabbing. It was just kind of telling about my story, telling about my life, not really anything super fitness related. So then I ended up quitting again. And last January, I decided to come back. And I was like, Kayla, I am so sorry. I literally started it with like, I am so sorry, but I want to give this another try. And she's like, no, I've always believed in you. We've got this. You can do this. So I tried it again. And this time, as she said, I'm like super impatient. I'm a go-getter. I'm like, I have to hit the ground running and it has to work out for me right away or I just get tired of it. And I get
super impatient.
Yeah. I give up easily. If something's not working, I end up giving up. So this time I decided I was going to go through all the steps that it took to actually learn the business, because before I would get a customer and then I would not know what to do and I'd message Kayla and have her walk me through things. And that was when it was like.
And Christa too, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, it's another home-based business called Advocare. Her and I both had done that before, and it was totally different. It was all about product selling and just, it was such a different vibe and feel than what the Beachbody community is. And so I think, because at first I had to kind of like get that, like tweak that with her a bit, because she just thought that's how it was, and it was totally not the case. So I feel like that could have led to, your impatient part about it and thinking it wouldn't work and just this and that.
Yeah, 100%. So, where was I? I forget.
I'm sorry.
I forget what I was saying.
You're impatient.
Oh yeah, I'm super impatient. So this time I decided to go through all the steps. So I did the New Coach University, and I actually did the homework each time. I don't think that was an option before when I had done it. I don't think it wasn't there. So that was actually super helpful for me. And I did that, and I wrote down, I have a notebook somewhere. I wrote down all the things that they taught you, and I just go through those every so often and refresh myself on those, and I redo them. To be honest, I spend way too much time on social media. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I have that freedom. And I spend too much time. I should probably slow myself down on that and take some more time with my kids. It's bad, and my husband gets annoyed with it. But I do think that is one thing that's helping me, is that I respond the second that somebody else is wanting to talk about it. Because a lot of the time I feel like somebody will reach out to me, and then if I don't respond quick enough, they lose interest, and it's fast. So I do try to be super on top of that. Every post that I make, I feel like a lot of this you guys probably already do. I told Kayla that. I was like, this is probably a lot of refresher, but every post that I make, whether it's a story or an actual post, I go in and see who's looked at it or who's liked it or commented on it, anything that they've done. And I go in and I send them that invite post. Kayla, I use what you sent us,
Mm-hmm.
prompt that you sent us, and I just tweaked it a little bit to sound a little bit more like me.
Yeah.
And then I always end everything in the question at the end. So I do that on every message that I send. Like Allie had told us before, I will every single day, I will go, oh, this is actually different. So she had told us to go to things that we like if you like Riverdale or something, go to their page and find people off of that. I go to my own friends and look at their friends list. I go into their friends list and friend people that they know, because I feel like if there's a mutual friend in there, it's even more of a connection.
Okay.
So I go into any, especially my own challengers, like I go into theirs and look through those. I go pretty much anybody on my friends list that I actually know. I go in there and I try to find people that I don't already follow. And then for 5 of them, at least a day, I'll go in and I'll like their stuff, like some of their stuff, put at least one comment, a genuine comment on there. And then if they look like somebody that's already into fitness and nutrition, I'll send them a message that instills that confidence in them to be a coach. So I'll say something like, something just popped up.
We're chatting. We're agreeing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So to instill confidence, like, hey, are you already a coach? You're super inspiring type of message, something along those lines. And I can look through my phone and see exact prompts if you guys want that. I actually had a lady order today that I was going to share the conversation with you guys, because it was super easy and it was like a 20-minute conversation and it led straight to them ordering.
Wait a second. Did you enroll someone today?
I did.
Challenge pack.
Mm-hmm.
Did you break your story up for a second?
What?
Kind of a nutcracker.
Are you eating with me right now?
Okay, is there a break in the story?
No.
You guys will see. You'll see why. Brittany, update the leaderboard.
I got it.
Sorry.
Sorry. Your wife is crushing it. Okay, Skylar?
Okay, so that's what I was wanting to say, though, is the guys I work with, I build power lines, and I work with roughly like, say 100 guys, 150 guys, and that's between a couple states and counties, and, you know.
He doesn't talk to me about this. So.
But long story short is all these guys follow me on Instagram, and they follow my wife, and you know, some of y'all might think that's weird, but these are brothers, not coworkers.
Right.
So long story short is everybody's like, hey, man, my wife's wanting to know what your wife's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sitting here and I'm thinking, well, actually, I'm doing it too. And not to be arrogant, but I'm kind of a larger stature gentleman, and compared to the guys I work with.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you don't do that, do you? And I said, man, I've lifted weights for 10 years now. And I said, and I did this 21-day fix. And I was like, it whooped my butt. It definitely whooped my butt. And, you know, and they're like, oh, BS. And I said, I tell you what, just pick up a set of 20-pound weights and jump around like they do and tell me how you feel.
Girl.
So, long story short is Christa's Instagram feed, and she does what is that called? Where you get to click it and it goes
Story.
Sorry, I'm ignorant in the aspect of it. But so her story has caught on to a bunch of my guys, and there's people that are like, well, how do you get into it? And I'm like, you got to wait for me to get home.
That's when you need to feed them to me, because I didn't even know until right now.
I was in New York 2 days ago, and I'm not going to lie, I was sitting in New York drinking a beer because we work 16-hour days.
Kayla likes beer.
Hey! And the guy sits there, and he walks up, and he's like, hey, I seen a picture of your wife and your son, and, she's looking awesome. My wife's really interested. How do I get into it? And I was like, have your wife message my wife?
Have your people call my people.
That's about all I got. But no, long story short is if you can get your husband's friends to kind of go in on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get them in there.
It seemed to work for her, but I've got.
Well, it hasn't worked yet because I didn't know. But stay tuned for the next.
I was about to say, all these boys coming home from New York, they'll have more than enough money to go ahead and. I don't know how you guys.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's my key to go shave my beard and take a shower. Ladies, y'all have a next evening.
Have a good one. Thanks for talking.
Hey, not a problem.
Thanks for supporting your wife.
Yes,
That was awesome.
He does. He always does.
Seriously.
That's so sweet.
That's awesome.
I don't know where it was now.
You're talking about.
You'll remember. Anyways, I tried to spark.
You were talking about you're starting to go to your friends' pages like on Instagram and Facebook and like following them and stuff. Which me personally, I've not thought to do that. I know you're thinking that this is not new stuff, but really like I just think to go look at hashtags and things I like. The fact that you're doing that, I think that's a great idea.
I love that you're reaching out to people about the coaching opportunity and not just the accountability group. I know that I've done this for almost a year now, and that's still something that I'm not great at. I'm really good about like pushing the accountability group and the community and all of that and building coaches from there. But I love that you're touching on this because that's something that I've talked to Kayla about wanting to work on.
Okay, so for that, I don't know if you guys did the new coach university or if it was like too long ago for you, but the one thing that's really helping me with that is there was an episode, but a thing about, and Emily did it, and it was she gave out all of her scripts, and I use them a lot. I use them and I tweak them because her stuff, and I mean she's number 3, so I can't say much negative about it, but a lot of the times it sounds a little bit salesy to me, and I don't ever want to come off as that. So I tweak it just a little bit. But her one about right before she sends the link, she says, "So excited to get you plugged into this group. I will get your name down on my list and help you get started signing up." I tweak that a little bit. And then she says, "There are 2 options to order. Both cost the same amount, $160. The first option is to order with our loyalty discount coach program. Pay $160 now and then pay $113." And then she breaks it down. "For each additional bag of Shakio you order, plus 25% off." And she just goes into the difference. I was not doing that before at all. I wasn't even offering the discount coach because I didn't want to push that onto somebody. I wasn't offering it at all. And since I've started, that's what they want.
Yep.
Automatically. They're like, I want the better deal.
Guys, and not to steal your thunder here, but that was me too. Brittany's got an opposite story, but she was like signing people as coaches left and right. But for me, I was like, no, like I'm only going to sign coaches if I think they're going to work. But what the thing is guys, your residual income and things like that are going to stem from the team bonuses, the team cycle bonuses and stuff. Regardless if your coaches are working, they're still ordering product. Yeah. And so that's still helping you build your volume. And several of you in here started off, well, Christa's a great example. You started off as a discount coach. Bailey's one of them too. Like that you're just like, well, let me just give this thing a try. Like, because once you start pointing out those coach tendencies in people, they're going to start to believe in themselves that they can do it. They can at least give it a try.
Mm-hmm. And I also will look at the people in my group, and they stand out to you. The people that you can see that they would be good at working that business, they stand out. And Kayla, I know that I was that for you. Like, you kept telling me that. But I constantly try to instill that into them, because they're already sharing their story and they already have people asking what they're doing. And soon they're going to start telling me, hey, I have this friend that wants to do it. Because I can already see that they're telling everybody what they're doing, and they're constantly doing it. So why wouldn't they want to make the money?
Yeah.
And now they've already signed up as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big game changer for me, that one.
Well, yeah, clearly, because I felt like you were signing coaches and all of a sudden you were Emerald, and I was like, holy cow, like you didn't even realize you're about to be Emerald and you're like just signing coaches. But that's the thing. It's like once you kind of get out of your head and get out of your own way, this stuff happens. Like, and that's what it did for me. And now I have all of you. And so it really can be a game changer. But like Bailey, for example, she told me the other day that she had a friend that she talked about Beachbody to, and the girl ended up going on the website and buying. And I said, well, did she buy? I didn't see her come through on my end because Bailey wasn't a coach yet. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize they were just assigned to a random coach. So when your people you talk to, they just go on a Beachbody or beachbody.com, they just like will get assigned to some random coach. And so you'll have to switch them to you. But like, but that's the thing with like Bailey, she's been telling people about it and people are interested. So she finally decided just to, try it out. Yeah. So And something else I say too about like the discount option is it's like a Costco membership or a Sam's Club membership. You're paying there for like to have the discount. So you're paying $15 a month to have the discount with, Beachbody too, and you're still saving about $25 to $30 a month on Shakeology,
right?
Alone.
Yep.
So, what else do you feel is different this time, Christa?
Just letting myself have the time, because before I was rushing everything, and I thought that it all needed to be immediate. I thought that if I wasn't signing people up from the get-go, then I was never going to. Mm-hmm. And so I just slowed down. I just started to – I also because I was in that sales state of mind from Advocare before, I was really pushy about it. And now I just kind of meet people where they are, what they need. So like if they're telling me that they really don't want Shakeology, but they want the fitness program, then of course I'm going to just sign them up with BOD. Before I was like, no, you got to get the challenge pack, because that's what I needed them to do, is what I thought that I needed them to do. But now if this is what they need, then I'm going to hook them up with that. They're going to come back to me at some point, and even if they don't, I help them in a different way. So I'm just in a different mindset now.
Yeah. Well, and it shows. So, kind of speaking on that too, I know, people are like, well, I don't want Shakeology, or I don't want to try it. But just know, like, they can go the other option. They can do the performance line instead. They could try the Mama Juice and the post-workout. And so it's not like the end-all be-all. But you got to do, in the end, what's best for that person. And if you feel in your heart that, such and such is the right fit, then go with that, because you're building their trust, And so I think that's great. I really think that that's what's worked for you is, you've given it time and you've read up on the Coach University, and you're at a different spot in your life too. But you've just most importantly, like, just let it kind of go, but you're still trying and you're still putting in the 4 vital behaviors that we talk about as coaches. You're still doing your personal development, you're sharing, your posts are really good, and you're just kind of testing out different posts and things like that. And it's not like, and this is nothing against you, it's not like you have this crazy amount of, followers right now, which you will eventually, but like, she's still doing these things even with just however many followers. So I don't want you guys thinking we'll only have like 100 followers. Doesn't matter. You know, that's Brittany Kaiser started off like that. Like, doesn't matter.
I went diamond with 200 followers. Like, it's not about that. It's about creating connections. And, you know, sometimes it clicks right away, and I don't want people to get discouraged and be like, well, I'm doing all these connections and I don't have people. Sometimes it happens quickly and sometimes it doesn't. But time and time again, what Kayla and I like cannot stress to you guys, and I really stress this like so much because and what I'm getting to is consistency here, because, you know, I went from coach to diamond in 2 weeks, and that was super awesome, but I wasn't doing it in a way that was sustainable for me to run my business. And then I like really struggled. I didn't hit Success Club in August or September. And now I've hit Success Club 10 for the past 5 months. And the only difference in my game is that I'm running my business in a consistent way, and a way that works for me since October.
I do have 2 other things that I completely spaced out about. One thing, when I threw myself out of coaching before, it was during my pregnancy, and I feel like that was a big area of growth for me, because I continued to – my first pregnancy, I didn't work out at all, and I ate crap. And then the second pregnancy, I stayed on the meal plans, and I worked out the entire time with Beachbody On Demand. So I was able to compare that side by side, and I just did that yesterday, I believe. But before doing that, I kept on going back to it, because I was thinking that because it was in the past, I couldn't post about it. And then I was like, but it was still a big part, and it's something that I did still with this program. So I went back and posted about it anyways. So even if it's something that you've done previously, you can, I feel like, don't let that discourage you. You can still post about that. And that ended up being a big post for me, actually. I had a lot of people come to me for that. And because, well, I don't know if you've had fit pregnancies or anything, but something different. I had a bunch of people that are currently pregnant that now want to have a fit pregnancy. Mm-hmm. So even if I'm not pregnant right now, other people can still learn from me with that circumstance. The other thing that I do is, you just pointed at me and said, "You're not pregnant." The other thing that I do is I go on Facebook, because most of my stuff I do on Instagram. This keeps tilting up. Most of my stuff I do on Instagram, and I get kind of confused between the two, because I'm like, have I already wrote you on Facebook, and then did I write you on Instagram? I don't want to message people the same thing twice, because I do use the same type of thing every single time, and I don't want them to be like, oh, you said that last time. But
I've done that.
I'm using someone the wrong name.
See? Oh my gosh, because you put it in as copy paste.
I did that.
I'm afraid that I will.
It was horrible.
I'm so nervous. But on Facebook, I'll go through my friends list, just alphabetically, and I'll go through like 10 people a day. I'll click on their name, and I'll go through like their recent posts if I'm not like staying up on keeping up with the Kardashians on them. I'll go onto their page, and I'll look at what they've got going on in their life, and then I'll just reach out to them, not salesy at all, and I'll just spark a conversation. And I'm not doing it to make it lead to a sale. I'm just doing it to make a connection.
Right.
So, like, just reach out to them about anything that's going on in their life. Congratulate them, tell them how cute their kid is, something, just something, but nothing salesy and nothing about your group. And then they're going to want to look at what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of just a cyclical thing, and just sparking conversations with people. And I do that with like 10 people alphabetically each day. And I just remember, but if you can't remember, write down who the last person was, and then just start from there the next day and go down the next 10. That way they're just keeping up with you too. They're popping up in their brain, or you're popping up in their brain.
And and their feeds and stuff like that, because it helps with like the algorithm and things.
I don't know anything about the algorithm.
It changes daily. I swear. Yeah, I love that. I love that you're working on just making connections too. And that's something that like I've said from the get-go is I want my coaches, and Brittany is the same way with her girls. We want you guys to build relationships with people rather than like diving into, hey, want to be a part of my group? Like, no, that's gross.
Yeah.
There's a time and place to invite, but I need you guys to have some type of connection with your people, because they're going to have more trust in you. And, if you've talked about, like, I can't even tell you how many people I've been talking to about these dang veggie noodles I keep posting. Okay. People are asking me about these veggie noodles. I'm like, okay, we're having a connection. This will work, but, and so, having the connections and then sharing your journey and showing up and sharing what you're doing, and, some posts like your pregnancy post, even though you're not pregnant, it still is relatable to people, because like I told Miriam the other day, Miriam Martin over here hey girl, she's out in Utah. She's pregnant. And I told her, I said, you're pregnant, you're showing up, you're working out, you're showing people that you can have a fit pregnancy, but you're still inspiring people like me who aren't pregnant. So you guys are kind of like vice versa. You're still inspiring people, because you're showing up at a different spot in your life, and in a pretty tough spot in your life. And, you're still doing it. So it's still inspirational, and people still get inspired off of stories that happened or things that have happened to you in the years past.
I'm upset with myself that I didn't keep up with it through my pregnancy, because I feel like so many people are looking for that when they're pregnant.
Yes.
Especially now. Like, now that I look back, everybody that is pregnant right now that I know is looking for that. So, and especially watching Emily's. I don't know why, I follow her pretty closely.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just inspiring. And seeing a pregnant woman work out, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, and it inspires and motivates a lot of people. So I think that you have a good standing right there. Share that.
Love it. Do you guys have any questions for Christa?
I have one. What do you feel like is something that you do, like, or do you have anything specific that you can think of that you do differently now versus the other times that you've tried to coach that's kind of pushed you towards being more successful?
Before the post that I was making, I would post like a picture. I would use, I don't know if I was using Canva or not, but I would post a picture of me, and I would post words on my picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is awful. Now that I look at it, I was like, that looks bad. That looks like I'm trying to sell you something straight from the get-go. It looks like an ad.
Right. And spoke to my soul.
Yeah, now I don't do that at all. And before, I was only posting so they would see that ad-looking picture and then some like quote or something as the description. And I wasn't reaching out to anybody either. So today, like now, I don't really keep track of how many people I'm telling you guys, I'm on social media too much. I don't keep track of the amount of people that I reach out to in a day, but it's a lot. I'm reaching out all day long. I
write mine down.
I really need to write mine down, because I need to be able to follow up with the people.
Mm-hmm.
I just go through my messages and I'm like, did they ever write back? And then I'll follow up, and it's too confusing. I need to write it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't reaching out at all, and my content just wasn't there. And I also wasn't really doing personal development. I mean, every now and then I would listen to a podcast in my car on the way to work. But I never found a podcast that I really loved. It was just like YouTubing something motivational, and then I would try to find some content to post from that, and then it wasn't any good. So, I mean, I've just given myself time to learn this time.
Yeah.
And New Coach University really is awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
thought about going back and listening to it too myself, because I feel like you can always be told things that you've already heard, but sometimes it resonates within you differently when you hear it at a different, spot in your life. So I think that's great. And I definitely encourage all of you to do the same, because it clearly is helping, Christa. And yeah, it's crazy. I did not, I believed in her. I believed in you. This just kind of went quickly. I was so amazed, and I'm really, really proud of you. And so I think you're doing an awesome job. And I know every single one of these ladies on here has taken something away from this call for sure. No matter if they've heard it before, but I still think you provided a lot of good things. I've got some notes written down myself about stuff that you're doing, because we can always improve, and like I always say, if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're not constantly trying to change and grow, it makes a difference. And switch up your stuff. If something's not working for your content, I've been doing that here lately. I felt like some things that I thought would be good posts weren't really getting a lot of engagement. So I'm switching up just how I'm doing things, and trying to not use hashtags. And then every now and then I'll use hashtags just to kind of see how it works. But definitely, if you are just kind of stuck, take a step back and reevaluate what it is you're doing, what it is you're saying. Just like I said in last week's call, I've had to, it's all about how you say things, but I've had to revamp my invites. I've had to revamp my, hey, thanks for following me, messages and stuff too. You want to make it you. You can take what Brittany and I say, you can take what Krista says, what Allie says, but what it boils down to is you've got to make it into you. You've got to make it into something that feels natural coming out of your thumbs when you're typing it. So that's really, Brittany.
I have a question.
Krista. Yeah. Who? Miriam.
Miriam.
Yeah.
Miriam's a new coach too.
I am. So I was just wondering, if you, Krista, or anybody else, if you could share now or in the group page or whatever, just your scripts for when you right off the bat invite somebody to be a coach, because I've been connecting with a lot of people on Instagram that are basically doing what I'm doing. They're just not a coach. And so I'll start talking to them about everything, but then I kind of go into you should do this and stuff. But I kind of want to just start the conversation right there. Hey girl, you should do this type of thing. I just I don't know. Anyways, I just feel I need ideas of what I could say, or yeah. So
I'm uploading those scripts right now that were in the New Coach University, because those have helped me a lot. Those aren't really for instilling the confidence though, but I can go in there and see what I've said for that.
Oh my gosh, Krista, you're awesome. You actually just uploaded that file. Wow. Awesome.
I know.
I was like,
My coach baby.
I'm on my laptop, you guys.
For me, Miriam, which I'm sure that Kayla will probably say the same thing. When I was listening to you talk about, how you're feeling and what you wanted to say to them, I would just, in my experience, it's worked out very well for me to just be honest with the people about how I feel about talking to them, and literally what Kayla just sent in this chat, and your intentions, what you actually think. So like Kayla just said, hey, you're whatever their name is, I was nervous to even bring this up, or nervous to reach out to you, but I love your Instagram, I love your feed, I love what you do. You look like a coach, but I feel like you might not already be one. Is this something you've ever thought about doing? Because I think you would be really great at it. And worst case scenario is that they say no, but at least you asked. At least you don't have to sit there and wonder and be like, wow, I bet she would be a really great coach for my team. Or best case scenario, she tries it and she's a rock star. But you never really know unless you
Yep.
reach out. But in my experience, being authentic, even when it means like being vulnerable and be like, okay, like I was scared to message you, but I'm ripping off the Band-Aid. Here it is.
Yes.
And people tend to be nicer if they think that you're being vulnerable.
Yes.
So people are usually jerks if they think that you're out on a ledge. So
the girl I messaged, I've got to tell you guys why I was nervous to message her. She is probably the nicest human being on the planet. Do you remember her, Christa? Did you work there? Melanie Santiago?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So she's who I messaged because her and I have been talking about just random things. Mm-hmm. And she's into fitness and she's just such a cute little chick. Okay. She's just adorable. And I think she would make a good coach. And so she does workouts at the gym, but she'll post every now and then. And so something told me last night, I was like, just do it. Just ask her. And so I was like, I'm so nervous. I was just super nervous to even ask you this because I was. But I feel like if you open it up that way, just share your feelings, you become human to them. You're more than just a salesperson and more than just some coach wanting you to be a part of her group or team. And I just asked her if she'd ever considered it. And she really just didn't know what it was all about. She was like, honestly, it's crossed my mind. I just didn't really know what you did. And so I gave her the link to the webinar that Brittany, myself, and Allie Griffith just did. It was a 1-hour webinar about what is coaching. We shared our stories and what we do as coaches and more about the coaching opportunity. And she watched it and she's going to get back to me. She's had to go out of town for a funeral. And so she's going to get back to me next week. And she appreciated me reaching out to her. It didn't stem an immediate coach enrollment, but guess what Kayla did? I planted the seed. Exactly. I planted the seed. So what I've learned is you've got to just my motto for 2018 was rip off the Band-Aid and go for anything I wanted to go for. And I did. And I really had a good year with coaching. And so I need you guys to do the same. I challenge you, every single one of you, rip off the Band-Aid and try it. And like Brittany said, what's the worst thing that can happen? They turn out to be this awesome rock star. Allie and Miriam both came from polls of mine. I did a poll and I reached out to them somewhat nervous because they just happened to I thought maybe they accidentally commented on my poll or something. And now they're in here working coaches. You just never know. So that was an awkward silence.
No, I was going to tell you guys, I meant to post this in the group yesterday and then I'm dying. But I got this message, the other girl, oh my gosh, I've talked to this girl about enrolling, I don't know, maybe 6 times since November. She's just one of those that doesn't ever really bite the bullet. But I have a share cart out with her. So I'm a little bit closer. But her message to me was, hey girl, I know I keep ghosting you and I'm sorry. The last few months have been up and down, but I'm finally ready to do it. And it's just planting seeds and following up and doing all of this, reaping and sowing. And now it's finally turning over into a discount coach, hopefully coach, and just power of consistency again. But staying authentic with my intentions with her. I don't only talk to her about enrollments. I talk to her about how she's doing, what I see in her stories. Posting.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Sorry. I've disappeared.
Post Christa.
All right. I love it. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. She posted what she's been saying too.
Thank you.
Yay. So I want you guys to start thinking about, heck, March is tomorrow.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, share. Do share.
Even if they're not Beachbody related, it doesn't have to be a Beachbody coach or something. If I see on someone's story something that looks good to me, that looks like something pretty or something that would speak to me, I screenshot it so that I can make that image as well with my own message. So because from the time that I started coaching, I had never used a story before. So I didn't even know how to make stories. So I've learned that completely from coaching. But I will, if I go through stories and I see something that I like, even if it's not Beachbody related at all, even if it's like I follow some lounge people, if it's something like that, I'll screenshot it just so that I have that look in my mind, because people do stuff with text that looks really awesome and catches your eye. So anything that I can do to catch someone's eye that makes them want to actually read what's going on in my story or in my post, I'll try it.
I've done this with Emily Favre's stuff since like
Yes.
last year.
Love her.
She's super creative. So I'll see stuff. I'm like, screenshot.
I actually have one of hers that I screenshot and I used today. Like I didn't use hers, but I used her like layout of it.
That's awesome.
Well, something that Allie uses, she's using that Story Art app for her stories and stuff, and I like how it looks. And so I'm going to start using it myself, because I was like, what are you doing to make your story so, like when she's promoting like her accountability group and stuff, I'm like, what are you using? And so I'm going to give that a go too. I think Allie Griffith uses it also.
I probably can't get it.
Oh, wonder why.
I'm trying, you guys. I went to go get the iPhone and switch it out. I was going to downgrade because mine's like the newest Galaxy or whatever. I was going to downgrade for a 7 just to get an iPhone again, and it didn't work out for me.
I need blue bubbles, people. Okay? Pronto.
I know. Oh, I can get it. I can get it.
I like to voice memo. Like I voice memo Miriam through Instagram. I'm like, I'm gonna message you because I've got to like explain this through voice message, and I don't know how to do it with an Android.
I'm sorry. I'm Samsung all the way and probably will be forever. So
is upset that he's in the other room right now because he
and
would be
also my husband works for T-Mobile. Like he is a phone person. We will never switch to iPhone. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll make do.
I'm just kidding.
So let's see. I've been commenting more. I want the attention right, so I have to put my attention out there too. Yes, totally, Elizabeth. You like the thing is like with this business, I think a lot of us think that we can just sit back and like post and do our stories and just let people come to us, and that's totally not the case. Like you have to be commenting and giving other people props, and like there may be a day where like your hustle hour is just like giving people love, showing people love, and asking them where they got that bathing suit and where they did this and what, you know, it looks so cool. Like, you know, I've never been before, you know, what do you suggest I do? Just like different things like that. Like that's all about relationship building. And investing the time and spending the time just to put like a genuine comment on someone's picture says a lot.
I completely agree. I love that Liz just said that, because I was actually just talking to Kayla about this maybe a week ago or a week and a half ago, something like that. Just about, you know, like getting out of this business what you put into it. And there really is something to be said about, you know, guys, this isn't easy. There is a lot of energy that you put into this. And what I was talking to Kayla about is that I've learned that with the coaching, that the amount of energy that you put in, it is always reciprocated. It's just not always reciprocated in the way that you know, like think it would be. I was talking to Kayla about how we've spent, you know, hundreds of hours together just pouring and pouring and pouring for months into this business and our groups and our plans and our trainings and everything that we can do for these teams. And, you know, like I kept waiting for it to come back to me, you know, through a certain avenue. But instead I was sitting there like a week ago, like crying because just really great things were happening. And I realized that it was all of the energy and the work that I put into this business coming back to me, just not how I expected it to. So keep pouring, keep trucking, like good things come from your hard work, and they always do.
Yes, for sure. There are plenty of times where I will like talk to Brittany and I'm like, you know, have a lot of self-doubt going on. Like, you know, I'm just, you know, I say this a lot, my story is insignificant. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Or someone just, you know, had some no's come through. I'm really trying to, you know, hit this goal. And she will remind me like, there's good to come from this. Like there's good to come from whatever negative type of energy you're getting from the other, side. And sure enough, every single time someone comes through, someone wants to enroll, or someone just simply shows me, like reaches out to me and just says, thank you for sharing that. I really needed that post. And so that just makes me feel like what I'm doing is what I need to be doing. This is my purpose. And so as long as you're putting in that energy, yeah, I 100% agree with Brittany. Okay. Well, Brittany, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Since I feel like I've been talking a lot, real quick, do you want to wrap up the call with the sneak peek stuff?
Yeah, just 1 second.
I feel like I need holding music.
How do I go about like getting in on one with you guys? Because I don't want to do my first one by myself.
Ha ha ha! Interesting that you asked, Christa Collins.
Okay,
good. We are starting to. Kayla and I have a theme for March, and our theme for March for you guys is all about growing your coaching biz. So, we've got different, trainings planned out as far as sneak peeks, accountability groups, just, working together, all of that good stuff, and how to, run this business on your own. Because as much as we don't mind putting people into our cupcake group or whatever, at some point there is a time for you to spread your wings, go forth and do amazing coach things. So, Kayla and I wanted to talk to you guys about running sneak peeks. We have 2 challenges for you guys. One is to schedule a sneak peek for yourself. Kayla, did you have a time frame that?
Well, I was thinking, let me pull up my notes from our call the other night.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. Sorry, I'm like Dayquil'd out, so I am.
No, the first challenge, Britt, was helping with hours.
Oh yeah.
And then schedule their own.
Okay, can you talk on that?
Yes. So what we wanted to do, because we're going to start holding these webinars once a month, or twice a month, I guess, once with Allie Griffith, because she wants us to be a part of hers again too. We had a lot of success with it. And
it worked so good.
Brittany did it especially. And so, we liked it. I actually asked her if she would be interested in doing it. And then a week or so later, Allie asked us to do it with her. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But I liked this idea of doing a webinar where it was just an hour where we could just really keep people engaged, because I feel like with sneak peeks, me personally, having to go in there and talk several days during the week, not everyone would be there when you went live. And so you'd have to follow up and be like, hey, don't forget to watch the video, or did you get to watch the video, and this and that. I wasn't feeling it 100%.
Oh, and fun fact real quick. Nicole, that's on this call right now, she was on the webinar.
Nicole was on. Yeah, Nicole wasn't Caitlin. Was Caitlin on?
Yeah, Caitlin was too.
Yeah. So, and it was nice to have that ammo in my pocket, because when I wanted to talk to my friend Melanie, I was like, I'm not doing a sneak peek or anything right now, but here's the webinar from a few weeks ago. Here's the recording. And so that was my biggest goal, was let's have a recording in our back pocket. So when we talk to people, we can feel more freely about inviting people to the coaching opportunity, because we had it to where we could send it when they were like, yeah, I'd be interested in learning more. Well, here you go, plug into this webinar. And this is, it talks about this and that. And so we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to speak on one of our webinars. And we can,
I said, yay.
We could work out the logistics and everything, but basically how it was ran is we each took turns. We told our story. We spent 10 minutes, but we had it planned down to the minute. We spent 10 minutes sharing our story about how we got into coaching, where we were in life before coaching, and what it's done for us. And then we talked about what we do as coaches, the trainings you are offered, what you get when you become a coach, not just your enrollment, your challenge pack, but also we talk about you get access to all these trainings and developments and things like that. Brittany, did I miss anything?
No, I think that was yeah, we want to give you guys an opportunity to earn, a spot on one of our webinars. It would obviously help you guys with your coaching business, the same way it's helped ours, and that you have one if you want to run your own Go for Greatness. But we would love to have you guys on there to share your story and what coaching has done for you guys.
Yeah. So really, I guess it's, I don't know, like anyone who's interested, we can schedule it. We can, basically Brittany, Allie, and I had a planning session a couple of days before, and we just talked about, okay, here's what we're going to talk about. Here's the graphics. We're going to share some graphics. So Allie ran it, and so she shared just different things graphic wise, and then we, you saw our faces like you do now. We ran it with a Zoom. We recorded it, and so yeah, it was really good, and it's just 1 hour, and I feel like most people, we had a lot of people on that call.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It's just the reason that we want to bring this up for you guys is because as awesome as the accountability groups go, growing yourself as a coach and growing your business and helping other people too, a huge part of that is sharing the coaching opportunity. And by doing things like sneak peeks, webinars, etc., it's a way for us to get information out there to people that might be interested, that don't maybe have the courage or are nervous to reach out because they feel like they're just going to get, roped into something. It's just a way for us to get information out there, and you never know who you're going to attract, but this is how, we're able to, get this to people and see if they want to take the leap and see if it'll kind of, change their life. So.
Sorry, I was looking at the leaderboard you just posted. Anyways, so any final thoughts or questions? Okay, well, with that being said, just stay tuned. We will have the calendar up for February, and we will, let you guys know what we're going to be talking about. And if you are interested in being a part of that webinar, just let us know. We will let you know when we plan to do it. It's going to be later in the month, probably after Christa, Brittany, and I get back from the cruise, and that way we have fun pictures and stuff to share too. So, but just stay tuned for that. We would love to have you guys. And other than that, I appreciate everyone getting on. And Christa, thank you so much for sharing your stuff. It was all good, and doing this when I just asked you to last week and not having any issues with it. So I appreciate you
for having me.
Thank you so much, Christa. We really appreciate it. I love learning from you.
Tell Skylar thank you too. Maybe we'll have him on a call for other husbands.
Other husbands, yeah.
Other spouses and significant others.
Spouse support call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, guys, if you have not locked in Success Club, you have an hour and 44 minutes to do so. It's possible. It's possible. We want to celebrate you guys.
All right, y'all. See you later. Bye.